Speaking of being a fan of someone's work, I don't know if you listen to Glenn Beck's radio program.
We're very big fans of his work.
and But if you listen to Glenn Beck's radio program, you may imagine Glenn Beck sitting in a studio talking into a microphone, very much like I am right now. Well, you'd be wrong. Glenn is pacing around, not his room or his office, but a replica of the Oval Office. I don't know what his rationalization for it is. I think he wants to deal with problems as if he was president. I know why. I don't know why he does it. I mean, I can see how it could be fun in some weird way, but I don't think he's doing it as a joke. I think he's doing it. But today he's a casual president. He's wearing a turtleneck and a sport jacket, but he's not casual in his heart because he's so upset that Ted Cruz is endorsing Donald Trump that he's left out there basically with no one to support anymore.
No champion.
No champion. And what has happened here, I'm not quite clear of what his logic is, but maybe that's just because I don't have some form of neurological problem. But here is Glenn Beck.
I'll tell you, that's not what I expected, but there was something in there, and I'm not going to go into it. There is something there where I have private conversations with people, and I know I know what was said, and I know the story. And for the very first time, I heard Ted Cruz calculate. And when that happened, the whole thing fell apart for me. And it's my fault. It's my fault for believing that men can actually be George Washington. It's my fault. I should have said, you know who can win? You know who could beat Hillary Clinton? Marco Rubio. And I disagree with him on the Gang of Eight, and there's about 80% that I do agree with him on. And he's kind of a politician, but he's a different kind of politician. He's a young politician. He's a Hispanic. He can win. Let's go for it. Instead, I said, let's find a truly honorable man.
Pause it.
And that...
Now, the irony, of course, is that someone like George Washington, particularly as a tactician and even as a president, I think would say, like, oh, yeah, no, you should definitely go with the person that you think is going to be able to most likely achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And if you can get 80% of what you want out of somebody, I would definitely do that.
Imagine how much
Mr. Beck.
I think Glenn Beck would be
profoundly
upset if
President Beck
he actually met George Washington.
He meets him, but he as George come to his Oval Office.
Yeah. He has George come to his Oval Office, and then the next day he's going like, I genuinely thought that someone like George Washington would be a man like Ted Cruz. But here,
turns out he has basic social skills.
Yeah, let's hear more of Glenn Beck's disillusionment.
Will always let you down. Right now, we have become PETA. Shame on all of us. Why not just, if you won't vote for Hillary or you won't vote for Trump, why not just cover me in a bucket of blood? Why not just shame me in the public square? Why not run them out of business? They're climate deniers. There is no difference between the two teams anymore. Oh, sure, one's for a little lower taxes, one's for the border, one's not. One's for international rule, one's for national rule. Which one is for the idea that all men are created equal? That all men have a right to pursue their own happiness and make their own goddamn decision? Which one? Which one? I contend neither of them. And so we will just soak each other in buckets of blood.
What?
We'll be a happy little bumper sticker community that shames one another into make sure you walk in goose step with all the other Hillary supporters or walk in goose step with all the other Trump supporters, because she's going to mean the destruction of America. No, no, says the Hillary supporter. You must vote for us because he means the destruction of America.
High on a hill was a lonely goat herd, lay, hoodle-lay, hoodle-lay, loud was the voice of the lonely goat herd, lay, hoodle-lay, hoodle-oo.
Translation, I was up late, I had insomnia, and I rewatched Carrie. And then I got to thinking.
He is just upset that you are tainted with a scarlet letter. If you don't want to vote for either one.
Remember when Nickelodeon used to dump goo on people, green goo? I think Beck should add that to the set next. Is like red buckets. Every time you do something that's sort of against your principles, you get dumped on.
I think we cannot be far away from him dumping a bucket of blood over his head like the movie Carrie. I mean, I think visually, why would you not do that if you were, the only reason why you would not do that is because your business is not doing well enough for you to be able to afford the replicas of the furniture in the office.
Or maybe convincing Stu to do it. That might make Stu uncomfortable.
I know that I always have to be the downer, but
Oh, Kelly.
no, I mean, if you actually have witnessed or been close to someone who is having serious mental problems, it sounds a lot like that sometimes. That's bad. That clip, I was like, that's kind of a line because it's been getting there for me.
Well, look, Sam keeps it off air.
I had at least when I go into my whole bucket of blood thing.
Sam
it's
goes,
off air.
setup isn't working. Just poured blood on me. Just do it. This whole setup is fuck it. Oh, we're on air. All right, what Hillary needs to do tonight.
Pour the blood on me!
It doesn't make
Wait
any
a second, the camera's working. Get the blood off of me!
It doesn't make any sense.
Hillary
and it's
needs
really,
to just make this a normal election now.
And it's really just, it's, there, there are a lot of figures who I'm like, oh God, it's so awful that they have a platform, to spout this nonsense, Fox News and everything like that. With him, it's like, what is he even talking about?
Maybe, Kelly, what we should do is maybe we should send you on an intervention. Do one of those things to go and try and just help him.
Or do like one of those Acorn style videos. You could go undercover at the Blues.
Or we actually discover that he's totally sane. I think, right? We're just
The
like,
problem-
hey, kick back there, young lady. Have yourself a nice cold drink. Now I'm going to go talk about pouring blood on myself.
The sad thing about Glenn Beck, though, and, it's the wrong show, I guess, but he already knows all of his problems. He's not unaware, and I don't think he seems like he's drinking. There's something wrong.
I don't think he's drinking either.
Yeah.
No.
So
I
I
don't
think he's
so.
crazy from all the drinking he hasn't done.
But if that show goes under, we should try to position ourselves so we can buy that studio somehow.
There is one in New York. There's a Google. YouTube has one in New York.
Like, have a Kickstarter. Buy Glenn Beck's Oval Office.
Hey folks, Sam Seder here. I just got back from a company-wide meeting. Accounting is really coming down on me hard. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So please enjoy this channel. Subscribe right down there.